What's good, family? Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. Y'all know what it is. This is another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Of course, I have my panel, JB, and the other fellas will hop on eventually if they have time. Uh, I believe Coach is at church trying to wrap up communion, and uh, Big Joe will hop on probably in a few minutes. But yeah, man, glad to do another show. How you feeling, JB?
I'm feeling good, man. As Coach was saying, I'm blessed and highly favored, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Some boxing matches went on yesterday. Uh, how did you like that Sims Jr. fight?
Well, it was a majority decision. It was a majority decision fight. It was a good fight.
I guess yeah,
I
Durate won.
Duarte won. I didn't really get to watch the whole fight because I was moving around.
Right.
But from what I'm understanding, listening to the Junior Truth live, it was a high fight.
Okay, I know you. What was your thoughts about the Regis Prograis fight?
I think Regis need to throw them gloves up there.
He getting hurt by JoJo Diaz, man.
Yeah, he just needs to throw them gloves away and just go sit down somewhere. Cause
He
next
had a good
fight,
run.
I mean, he was a good champion, you know. And despite him talking crazy about Devin for no reason, um, next fight, he gonna get the brakes beat off him from like a elite to a like ranked fighter. But he was just doing stupid stuff, man. He was like in front of JoJo Diaz with his hands down, and I don't think he respected JoJo Diaz's power, but he found out yesterday.
Yeah, he did. And of course, like I said, I have my brother LDBC Business, Big Joe. What's going on?
Yo, happy Sunday. What's good with y'all? What's going on with y'all, man?
Man, ain't nothing, man.
Chilling,
We
bro.
we out here about to talk these what's going on with Deion Sand. Well, the how he persevered, and we're gonna talk about the Micah Parsons situation.
Okay, sound good. I'm all here for it, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we are Coach 67 Sports TV is in the chase. There, salute the family. Salute to the family. Salute, Coach. All right, you can join whatever. You can join whenever you get a chance, Coach. Ain't no problem. And Big Red said, host a big boy talk. Greeting everyone. What's good, brother? Brother, Big Reg, man. Another dope content creator. But man, Big Joe, what was your before we go into the main topics? What was your thoughts on the card last night, especially the Regis Prograis versus JoJo Diaz and Sims Jr. versus Duarte?
To be honest with you, bro, I didn't see any of the fights. Yesterday evening, I was meeting up with the my brother, who's the CEO of Old Hillside. I met up with him, and I was getting stuff together
Okay,
so I can bring y'all stuff for the meet and greet. You know what I mean? My flyers, leave with something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I missed all the fights yesterday.
oh well, rightfully so, man. You was um trying to get everything situated for the meet and greet. By the way, speaking of Old Hillside Bourbon, like he just said, that is the official drink of the LDBC meet and greet that's going on next week. So please make sure you get yourself a bottle. Like I say, like I always say, if you're not a drinker, this would definitely make a good gift for that uncle or that aunt or that family member that likes to have them a bottle of bourbon around the house or whiskey because they serve whiskey and cigars as well. So please check them out. You can just go to Google and put Old Hillside Bourbon, and the website will be the first thing that'll pop up.
Already.
All right. So last week, um, we got it from Well Off Media that his dad, um, and Well Off Media, those who don't know, is Deion Sanders Jr. Had a big announcement last week. Or a week or two. Was it a week or two or last week?
It was last week. It was in
Okay.
the middle of the week.
Yeah. And at the press conference, and big wasn't even the word for it. It was it was a very inspirational speech. I do have something queued up for y'all for the audience to have context. Give me one moment, fellas, and fair use, YouTube. Please, fair use. Please let me know if you can hear it.
For something else, they wouldn't have stumbled up on this. This wasn't easy. Men, everybody, get checked out. Because if it wasn't for me getting tested for something else, they wouldn't have stumbled up on this. And make sure you go to get the right care, because without wonderful people like this, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today, because it grew so expeditiously, I could say. But please get yourself checked out, especially African-American men. We don't like going to the doctors. We don't like nothing to do with a doctor. You know that. So I'm not just talking to the brothers. I'm talking to my Caucasian brothers, my Hispanic brothers, my Asian brothers, my everybody, and my sisters. And that's all, y'all. Get checked out, because it could have been a whole another gathering if I had.
And I know that's not all, but I just wanted to show everyone a piece so I can go into it. So just by him going to a checkup, he discovered he had bladder cancer, and the doctors told him it was to the point where he needed to get something done right away, or it was spread to the body, and he may not be here anymore. So thank the Lord, they was able to catch it, and he had his bladder replaced basically. So now he's cancer free. So in that same interview, or post conference, he basically explained that he's cancer free. Now you can, those who want to watch the full, I know it's a little older, but if you're interested, you can just YouTube press conference. I said post conference. I mean, it's press conference. Deion Sanders, and this should be the first one that pops up. But it was a aspiring that he had to battle that behind closed doors. My hat goes off to him. I don't care if you don't like Deion Sanders. You gotta give him props for his resilience, and just being man enough to battle that, go through that, and not, the pain and the mental of that. Damn, you might have, what if this don't work? You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it was. Shout out to Deion Sanders, man. Shout out to Deion Sanders. Starting you with Big Joe, man. What is your thoughts on, him revealing that he had bladder cancer through the whole time? 'Cause everybody was asking, where's Deion at? He did say that he had health issues, but we didn't know it was to this extent. So, what is your opinion on Deion Sanders being cancer free now?
Well, first off, I want to say I'm happy that he's cancer free. No matter how you feel about Deion or what he might have or might not said, Deion is a legend in our community. Deion is a pillar in our community. Deion's a pillar amongst kids, you know what I mean, and even OGs. A lot of folks reach out to Deion when it comes to game advice or and whatnot, you know. So, but cancer is nothing to play with. I've had cancer in my family, so I've dealt with it firsthand. I've
Yes.
some have survived, some have transitioned to the ancestors, you know. So cancer is nothing to play with. No matter if it's a tiny bit or if your body's getting covered with it. You know, I'm happy that he's okay. And his story goes to show that it's important to always get a routine checkup. If I'm understanding Deion, due to Deion's other health issues, he constantly is getting blood work done to make sure he doesn't have any blood clots, you know, due to his feet and all that kind of stuff. So he's constantly getting blood work done anyways. If he wasn't
Right.
routinely getting blood work done, he wouldn't know that he had bladder cancer because he had no symptoms, no issues, no nothing. He just happened to get some blood work done. They say, "Hey man, what is this?" They looked it up. The man was having bladder cancer, and it was spreading rapidly. You know, to the point where he had to get his whole bladder removed, and they had to put in a brand new one. You know, they took a part of his intestine, you know, to make a new bladder, so that way his body would take it. You know, because a lot of times if you put foreign things in your body, you know, your body might reject it, which makes surgery and recovery, you know, very complicated. You know,
Right.
so that's why if you need a skin graft, you know, they'll get it off your stomach or your legs, so that way it'll take hold. But I'm happy that he's cancer free. Brothers and sisters, get checked up. You know, there's nothing cool about going to chemotherapy. There's nothing cool about suffering in silence. Go and see a doctor, get your blood work done. There's nothing wrong with getting a routine checkup. We prioritize a lot of things, but we need to prioritize our health. You know, like my brother, he went and got checked up and found out he had two or three polyps that were cancerous. They were able to take it out. Now he's all good. But if he didn't get checked up, if he just, you know, it's like you know, I'll get to it whenever I get to it. You know, who knows where he'll be at now. You know, so shout out to Deion. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he's back doing what he loves to do, and that's coaching the kids and being around the kids and everything. So congrats on a successful surgery. And he said that his life is changing now. You know, he's constantly having to use the bathroom. He don't know when he has to use the bathroom. You know, he joked about having a porta potty on the sideline, but no matter what you're going through, he's making it work. So look at Deion's situation and say, man, that man, he ain't got no toes. He's going through this and going through that, but he's still joking. And no matter what your faith or religion is, he still loves the Lord. Well, if you're Christian, well, if you're Muslim, whatever you believe in, you know, still love your faith no matter if you're going through good things or bad things. Because Deion says, I can't complain about having cancer because I didn't complain about when I was getting these $1 million contracts. I wasn't complaining about when all my kids are healthy and successful. So if I wasn't complaining then about all the blessings I got, I can't complain about the bad things that happened to me. And this is just part of life, part of the yin and yang balance. So congrats to Deion. I'm definitely gonna tune in. Hopefully they have a good season, but most importantly, I'm glad he's still around so that way he can continue being an influence not only on his kids but also the kids on the team.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Beautifully said, Big Joe. Beautifully said. And just want to shout out the people that's coming in. Anthony Bolton, he said, salute. Memphis, man, what's good, man? And growing with soul, my brother. Salute, salute, great brother. Salute, my brother. Appreciate everyone who always come in and support us. I appreciate y'all. I have no idea, like as my brother Junior Truth would say. Now, JB, what are your thoughts?
Man, I think it was amazing, man. I think, we all the time talk about sports. We talk about, other stuff on the internet. But push comes aside, Deion Sanders is probably one of the best men in sports. Like Town said that, he's a man of God. He put his religion first. What people in America say, they God first all the time, but they just be talking. So he actually does it. You know, his kids ain't never been in no trouble, stuff like that. So it's good to hear a story like Dion or a testimony, as us believers in Christ would say, or Yeshua would say. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm just happy, that he's defeated cancer. Because, like the brother Town said, we all had family members who had battled their battles with cancer, and some of them didn't make it. So I'm grateful that we still have Deion Sanders and Deion Sanders. To see Deion Sanders uh, coach another year of football, so we can love up on him and critique him if necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like we did last year. I love him. He was a great coach,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, even greater to me. No, excuse me. He's a great coach and a great player. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna have to say about that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Growing with So. I appreciate you, brother. He said just share the live. Yeah, man. If y'all, those who just coming in or catch the replay, man, please subscribe or like or share. And I appreciate you so much. Um, Anthony Bolton said, "Facts, Joe and panel. My pops passed away from colon cancer. I had to put a colonoscopy before. I had to get a colonoscopy before I turned 30. Please get your blood work labs early. It can save your life."
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your pops, but yeah, for sure,
Condolences, man.
absolutely.
Condolences.
Condolences, man. Sorry to hear that, Mr. Bolton.
Yeah, I took my pops to get his lab work the other night, a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, man. It's amazing, and I really hope they do well, man. Um, uh, to go from this somber moment to get back on football. Uh, I really hope. I, I'm impressed how big their line is. Their offensive line is got some. I'm using football term, y'all. So please, I know it's gonna be a pause, but it's a perfect football term. They got some beef on that O line and D line, but mainly O line.
Well, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? How that is, because
And
they O line last year
and,
was
and let me
okay. Go ahead.
finish my thought, JB, because I don't want to escape me. The reason why I brought it up to your point, JB, is hopefully they don't how big their offensive line is. A lot of them young men know how to run block, because if they can run block, they can run the ball. And that was our critique. If y'all watched this show in the past, especially during the season last year, that was one of our critique of uh, Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, I know people say, "Well, they couldn't run the ball because the O line was trapped." It don't matter. You have to give the perception to the defense that you're not
That you're
one
willing to
side.
run the ball.
Yeah,
That's why Shadur took so many hits. Everybody know you can run the ball. I mean, everybody know you're not gonna run the ball. So me being a defensive end or somebody who played defensive end or outside linebacker, I'm rushing. I'm going around the corner to hit your quarterback. So you got to run the ball. Hit him with a draw. If you got a shitty offensive line, hit him with a draw, a screen, something.
hmm
You know. But other than that, man. But see, we not even supposed to be talking about that. I'm just happy the brother, beat cancer. We'll
yeah,
talk about that football stuff when the season comes. start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And one last thing, real quick. It was dope to see how a lot of folks kept this on the hush. In the era of, we're in the era now, clout chasing, everybody want to be first to bring up something. Deion purposely told everybody, don't nobody say nothing. And everybody was hush. Deion Sanders Jr. knew about this the whole time. He ain't say nothing. You had guys like Randy Moss, and you had other celebrities like Carucci and other people, who went to see him and talk to him, and nobody ain't said nothing. That just goes to show the testament of who Dion really is. Because anybody can say, man, you're a piece of trash human. I'm going to just let everybody know you got cancer and you going through it. Nobody ain't say nothing. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody who kept his what he was going through private. You know what I mean? So that way he was able to rehab quietly, do everything he needed to do quietly, and his kids, Shiloh and Shador, can focus on making the team, not have to have worrying about if their dad gonna make it or not. So salute to everybody for being quiet about it.
That's amazing, ain't it? Especially nowadays, you can go to your job and tell your hiring manager, don't tell nobody this. And per HR policy, they're not supposed to. Management cannot tell your business if they um, tell you something in private. They trust in you to keep a secret, and if they tell it anyway, per HR, they will have to be terminated or fired. But people will still do it because they want to tell the person that they have, they cool with, and they tell secrets and stuff too. And it will. Long story short, and you can tell what the story down, the little story I'm telling you is what I actually been through. Um, that lets you know the type of people that Deion has around him.
His
You can't
his
trust.
his
Can't
circle
trust him.
is sewn up tight.
Yeah, you
His
can't
circle
trust.
is sewn up tight
And so
because
that's a good
how
thing.
many people that they can't even say nothing like that to their family members. As soon as they tell
Exactly.
their family
That's my
members or their
point, right?
friends don't say this, don't say nothing. It's on Facebook. It's on in somebody's chat. Little
No, no,
chat
no, no, no. That's
circle.
not you right, but that's not gonna work at first. They gonna talk
Right.
among. They gonna spread it among the people they gossip with, and then probably a couple of months out or a couple of weeks out, then you're gonna hear. It's gonna get back to you, and then you get back to that person. I'm the only one that told you. I don't know how it got out.
But that hey, because Deion, like I said, Deion is the man. Don't say like Town said. Don't say that. Don't tell nobody. I'll tell everybody when it's time. So you got some real ones around here.
Yeah, he do. I give Dion. You gotta give Dion props for that, even for that. Growing Soul said, "Real talk with Pop. Pop beat prostate cancer 2 years ago. My grandfather beat it 8 years. Brothers, get tested. Yes, and shout out to your dad and your grandfather, man. That's amazing. Um, Anthony Butler said, facts. The Patriots didn't. Facts. The Patriots didn't have great running teams, but they always ran the ball. Yes, yes.
Do
Wrong.
anybody remember Antoine Smith? The Anthony Bolton point.
Yeah,
Okay, then.
right, right, right,
Right.
right. When you think about the Patriots running back, you think of what? Lawrence Maroney, Kevin Falk, um,
They, they had Corey Dillon
Corey
at one
Dillon.
time.
Yeah, Corey Dillon. Even a Danny Woodhead, but and Antoine Smith is not the first name, but they used him and they won a Super Bowl with him. So
Yep.
to your point. So Grown with Soul said I was advised to start getting early screening since I was 35. Don't let your pride get in the way of saving your life. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. One quick thing. This a while ago we were talking about a lot of times when brothers go to the wayside, you just let them go. They don't need no help. We can just let them fall off. Perfect example was Antonio Brown.
Right.
Deion just went through what he went through. And the first thing Antonio Brown talk about is not, hey, shout out to you, coach. I'm glad you made him happy for you. Nothing. Hey, man, you see Carucci with Deion? Man, Deion got 8 toes and no bladder. Girl, what you doing hanging out with him, girl? That's the first thing he said. But these are folks in the community. Y'all want to help. Oh man, he just joking. Everything in a damn joke.
Everything not a
Everything,
joke. You're
everything
right.
not he ha ha he. Because when he was throwing gummy penises at his baby mama and he's throwing furniture out the window and when he ruined his career, everybody said, "Oh man, he just joking. He know what he's doing." Y'all want to let me know when is AB gonna drop that album? Cause I'm waiting for it. You know what I mean? So everybody look. Oh man, well look man, why is Carucci there? How come nobody's saying shout out to her for being by Deion's side, whether they together or not or friends? She's by that man's side while he's going through cancer. You know how many times I go to the hospital and I see folks who ain't got nobody with them when they going through stuff? Folks don't get no visitations, nobody comes see him and whatnot. Deion has somebody there by his side, whether they're together or not, supporting him going through his worst trials and tribulations. Let y'all go do some sick stuff and let's see who's gonna show up for you. Ladies, let's see that dude that y'all slurping down every other week. Is he gonna show up to you in your hospital if you got cancer? Fellas, that girl y'all busting down, y'all, you know what I mean, somebody, you little Joan or whatever. Let's see if she show up for you if you have cancer in the hospital. So, you know what I mean? Everything in a joke nowadays, but my bad, y'all.
No, no, not that was and that last show. You put it in perspective. Everybody was going, including me. Just pray for him and hopefully no. And you educated us on this brother's track record. He ain't trying to get better. He got multiple chances. So fucking Antonio Brown, and he a Pittsburgh Steelers fan too. I mean, former Pittsburgh Steeler. Fucking Antonio Brown. And salute to J Bar, salute family in chat. Some of these people cannot be saved. That was Big Joe was saying.
Yeah, somebody need to take a big ass break and knock the shit out of his ass. And knock the rest of the whatever he has going on in CT. I don't give a damn no more. Out his head. So um yeah, man, that was I seen that shit, bro. That was I hate motherfuckers that just disrespectful for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Just saying this is the generation motherfuckers just with the everybody, especially with the pranking and the social media. Oh, I'm just playing. I'm just what 78 say? I'm just what they say now when they joking now? Uh, brothers help me. What they say now when
It's
they
a
be like,
prank.
I'm no. I'm just when they say they joking, but they not really joking.
I'm just trolling. I'm just
I'm
trolling,
just
y'all. Don't worry about
trolling.
it. I'm just trolling, man. You can't take me serious. I'm just trolling.
I'm just trolling. Nobody, because I was born in the '90s. Motherfuckers were getting their head blown off for disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And especially the early 2000s. Y'all dudes, we grew up in different
I ain't gonna lie. You
society.
started seeing that change around the the I would say '08, '09. You start seeing that people playing too much and everything, and not getting checked for it. So we start to see it toward it toward when we got in high school. JB in our
Yeah,
generation, it
motherfuckers
started in
started,
our generation. Be honest with you.
bro. So man, it's crazy.
Yeah, grown soul said AB is a nut job. His mama should have swallowed his whole swallowed his whole ass. Yeah. Anthony Bolton said I have no sympathy for Anthony Bolton. Excuse me, Antonio Brown. Yeah, That's what Big Joe was saying. No, yeah, we don't have no sympathy for Antonio Brown because he's not. He know what he's doing and trolling. Yeah. Well, Big Joe, you about to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say shout out to Deion Sanders, man. Shout out to him. Above all everything, regardless of AB and the monkeyness, shout out to Deion. I'm glad he's still here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, let's go ahead and move on, man. Let me stop sharing. Now I got another video I'm gonna share. Fair use YouTube. We going to the Micah Parsons situation. This video I got from the Rich Eisen show to give us context. So please let me know if you can hear it.
That's talking about Terry McLaurin wanted to trade. He said he wanted to trade a man, and he gave one. And then we learned from Diana Rossini of The Athletic that Micah was considering drastic measures, including a trade request or even a declaration that he's severing his relationship with the team, per multiple league sources familiar with the situation, because the relationship has deteriorated to that point. What would that look like? Well, we now know. Would this suffice as breaking up with the team and demanding a trade? Micah Parsons tweeting out the following. I guess he put it on his notes and then he screen grabbed it and popped it up. It starts with, it was, "Thank you, Dallas," was the headline. Sounds like he's gone. "Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done, but since there's a confusion out there, let me clear some things up." And then he goes in. Details. "I had my agent reach out to the Cowboys last offseason after my third year in hopes of getting a deal done early. Unfortunately, the team didn't want to start any negotiations at that point. I was okay with that. Didn't complain. Focused on 2024. After the season, I told my agent again, let the team know that we were open to negotiate when they met at the Combine. My agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up, but I didn't care and I wanted to secure myself as a Cowboy long term. This was before any other pass rushers got deals done." And then he also mentioned how I knew I would be leaving money on the table, but again, I was okay with that. Again, radio silence as far as my extension. In March, I met with Mr. Jones to talk about leadership. Somehow the conversation turned into him talking contract with me. Yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract, but at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation. Now comes the big finish. And I informed Mr. Jones afterward my agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. By the way, this is exactly what Clarence Hill told us was happening, right?
Yep.
But when my agent reached out and spoke to Adam, I imagine he's in the front office, he was told the deal was pretty much already done. My agent, of course, told him that wasn't the case and also reached out to Stephen Jones. Again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we would allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk, yet still not a call, email, or text to my agent about starting a negotiation. Up to today, the team has not had a back and forth at all. And he said, at this point, we decided we would allow the team, can you keep going? Yet not still a call whatsoever, is what he said. And then we finish up with the big finish here on this statement. I have it here from, again, the NFL Network. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet. But again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I've made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally.
Adam is Adam Pacifica. He's the director of salary cap and player contracts.
Thank you, sir. Okay. This tracks with what?
Okay. So I just played the part where he was just reading what Micah Parsons put on social media. But yeah, that was the. If you want to hear the rest of it, you go to Rich Eisen's show on YouTube. But I didn't play the video to hear his point of view. But shout
Fair
out to Rich
use.
Eisen.
Fair
Fair
use.
use. Fair use. Anthony Bowles say, as a Cowboys fan, I can't stand Jerry Jones and his family. I miss Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells. Even Michael Irvin is pissed, shaking my head. Yes. So here's what I don't get, and I'm gonna let y'all cook. Here I don't get with Jerry Jones. It's not rocket science. This brother has had double-digit sacks every year. He's only been in the NFL for 4 years, gentlemen. 4 years. 2021, 13 sacks. 2022, 13 and a half sacks. 2023, 14 sacks. 2024, 12 sacks. It's not damn rocket science. Pay the man his money. He's the best. He is one of the best, top 3, in my opinion, pass rushing outside linebackers in the game right now. Probably top 2. Pay the man his money. But I don't understand this nickel and diamond shit with Jerry Jones. It's with your best player on the roster, literally. And CD Lamb even, I'm not sure if it was Instagram or
Twitter.
He was like, go ahead and pay the man, because they want him on the team. So when you got his teammates tweeting saying, hey, we need this guy. Pay the man his money. Trade who you got to trade. Trade a couple of picks from there. We need this dude. Whatever you got to do. Starting with you, Big Joe. What's your opinion on what's going on with Jerry? What's his beef?
Well, Anthony Bolden, I sympathize with you. My pops is a stone cold Cowboys fan. When I was younger, my dad would take me to a lot of the Oakland Raider Cowboy games. My dad would have on Cowboy boots, belt buckle, Cowboy hat, and everything. That was when, if you wore different team colors to the Raiders Stadium, you know what I mean? They jump you in everything. Ain't nobody touch my father. My father's 6'7", all of 290. I wish somebody would, but that's how much of a Cowboy fan he is. So, with that being said, it's disgusting what Jerry Jones is doing. How's he treating Micah Parsons? And I understand why Micah Parsons is frustrated and is now at the point to where even if he don't want to, even if it's a part of negotiations, he's saying, look, I want to be traded because nothing is getting done. The problem with Jerry Jones is his ideology is you play for the Dallas Cowboys. You playing for one of the most popular franchises in the world, whether it's NBA, baseball, whatever. Dallas Cowboys is one of the popular franchises across the whole world. If you play for Dallas Cowboys, you get a lot of perks, you get a lot of endorsements, you get a lot of publicity. That was the main thing they were pushing with when it was time for Dak Prescott to get paid. They said, well, you have all these outside deals with Sealy Posturepedic and with this and with that. So you should give us a team discount because you're making $30-40 million off the field. So that's his thing. Because you're a Cowboy, you should be grateful that you are a Cowboy, and you should make concessions for being a Dallas Cowboy. You no state income tax, all that good stuff. Phenomenal fan base, what allows you to have autograph signings off the field, make extra money. There's a lot of things a lot of perks would go with being a Dallas Cowboy. But as a player, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You asked me to do my job. I did it at the highest level. I deserve to be paid as such. JJ Watt got paid. Myles Garrett get paid. Micah Parsons should be in that ballpark of the top DNs that should be getting paid of $35+ million. Michael Parsons was wanting to work on this deal last year. He's like, hey, let's get this done. Let's get it situated. They say, no, we got to work on CD Lamb. They paid CD Lamb late when he should have been paid his money. So CD said, Michael said, okay, cool. Let's get it done in the offseason. They had all offseason to get it done. Jerry Jones trying to be a slickster. Jerry Jones trying to do some shady business. Instead of going through Micah Parsons to get the contract worked on, instead of going through Micah Parsons' agent, Morgaletta, who's one of the top agents in the NFL, you can't run no jankiness behind him. You can't put no shady thing in a contract and he's not gonna see it, So he was trying to go past the agent and just deal with Micah directly to get the deal done. You know what I mean? This is not a Lamar Jackson situation. This is not a Richard Sherman situation. This is not the what's the brother? This is not a Wagner situation where these brothers they own agents. This is not that. Micah has an agent. So if you want to talk about a contract, you have to go through his agent, not through Micah. So he already trying to do shady business with that. That's strike one. Trying to go past his agent. And then after that, Micah is still showing up to camp because if you don't show up to camp, they fine you $50,000 a day. No matter how much cheddar you got, that add up after a while. So he's showing up in good faith, trying to get a deal done. He's obviously not practicing, but he's there trying to get a deal done. Jerry Jones and them is constantly disrespecting him in the media. Oh man, if we'll pay Micah if he wants to get paid. When he's ready to get paid, we'll pay him. Huh? What you talking about? So he was constantly sneak dissing Micah after training camp practices while he's there. And then to the utmost disrespect, they asked him again about Micah's contract, and he said, "Oh yeah, we'll get Michael signed. We'll get Michael signed. If Michael wants to be here, then we'll sign Micah. We'll sign Michael. And if Michael wants to be," it kept calling him Michael. The man name is Micah. When y'all drafted him and they read his name off, it was Micah Parsons, not Michael Parsons. Micah is not short for Michael. So now you try to go backdoor business. Now you're talking about him in the media, and now you're disrespecting his name on purpose because you're trying to be funny. So Micah's like, I'm fed up. I've done everything I can. I'm a Pro Bowler. I'm an All-Pro. I'm a leader on the team. I'm a captain. I haven't gotten into any trouble. I'm a model citizen. What more do you want from me? I'm one of the top 5 DNs in the league because Jerry Jones always say, if you want to win a championship, you got to have a DN. Jerry Jones called him award daddy. That's the reason why he got Charles Haley. He got Charles Haley on his team in the 90s because he needed the DN. That's why he got the what's the brother the bald-headed brother. He played for the Cowboys on 94. What's his name? He went to the Broncos, won championship. Come on, y'all, somebody. DeMarcus Ware. That's why he drafted DeMarcus Ware, because you need a DN to win in this league. So now you have your award daddy that you didn't drafted, build him up from scratch and developed him, and now you don't want to sign him. Not only does this disrespectful to the players, disrespectful to the locker room. Because now the players are like, damn, if they treating Dak like this, they treating CD like this, they treat Micah like this, I'll imagine how they gonna do me. Now that brings division in your locker room. And if you want to win a championship, you gotta have unison from the top all the way to somebody who cleans the bathrooms, all the way down to the water boy who's giving the players water. The perfect example of championship pedigree in an organization is the Eagles. Yeah, the Cowboys don't want to look at them because they're in the division, but this is a copycat league. When everybody was doing the Wildcat, all of a sudden, everybody was cool with copying each other. But now when it's time to copy a team who has winning pedigree, who's signing players early, drafting them and developing them, when they're when the owner is not saying nothing, he's behind the scenes and letting the coaches and GMs do their job. They've gone to the Super Bowl more times than than the Cowboys have won playoff games in recent years. Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl twice. When's the last time the Cowboys have won a playoff game? And everybody wants to be there and everybody's happy. So the best way to not have a winning team is to have dysfunction amongst the whole organization. If you want that man there, pay him. If not, trade him. It's absolutely disgusting, but this is normal. This is how the Cowboys operate. So now let's say if they do sign Micah Parsons, he's missed a little bit of time at training camp. As a football player, the best way you get in shape is playing football. It's not running laps, it's not running sprints, it's not in the weight room. You have to have that collision. You got to put on the pads. You have to wear the helmet. You have to get used to the dog days to get ready. When you're not used to that, you go from walking around the sidelines and riding a bike and running. Now you're throwing on pads and you have a game in a week. Next thing you know, you pop your Achilles. Next thing you know, you pop your hamstring because your body is not used to it yet. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But either way, it's disgusting.
It is disgusting, and Growing Soul said what I was thinking. That's the dominant society go to. They will mispronounce your name when defaming in the media. Yep, they do that on purpose. That's part of the game. Anthony Bolton said, "To be honest, I'm only watching highlights and playoff games anyway. If Parsons leaves, I'm probably gonna stop watching NFL or maybe become a Ravens fan. Real talk, I'm serious. Okay, we're glad to have you." Uh, Grown Soul says straight plantation activities in the NFL, especially in Dallas. 6'1", 223 pounds, 8 inches. Disgusting work.
Oh no, yeah. He's talking about how Jerry Jones talking about how on a hot mic, he's talking about how big somebody Johnson is. Oh man, that player got 8 inches and 3/4 girth. Huh? I ain't know how long somebody Johnson. Anyway,
That, oh Lord, yeah, that was sizing up another man. That ain't for you. But anyway, I got my brother on here. He came back from his church duties, man. Coach 67 Sports TV was good, man.
Man, salute to the family. Peace and blessings to the brothers, to the chat. Everybody that's tuned in, everybody that may tune in later. In regards to the Regis Prograde Jojo Diaz fight, I didn't catch the fight. Everybody that hit me up was saying Regis Prograde won. For those individuals, that came to my channel and watched my top 10 favorite fighters, I know brothers and sisters in the LDBC, they really don't rock with Regis Prograde because of, the whole situation with Devin Haney. But for individuals that watch my channel and, saw me talk about my top 5 favorite fighters, Devin Haney and Regis Prograde were both in that top 5. And I'm not going to lie, initially I was happy that Devin Haney was willing to challenge himself when he moved up to 140. But then eventually I realized quickly, like, nah, I don't think it's going to work because of the simple fact I knew it was going to happen after the fact. But if we got, LDBC family members in Dallas that still rock with the Charlo twins after they buffoonery, I'm still rocking with Regis Prograde. I still support him. Some people think it might be time for him to hang it up, but either way, it is what it is, and I'm still supporting him. In terms of Deion Sanders, of course, y'all already know my feelings on Deion Sanders in terms of, I wasn't a fan of the way he left Jackson State. I wasn't a fan
Right.
of the whole Ryan Garcia scenario. But even with that being said, I am glad and happy that he is healthy. He's doing well. It's imperative that, brothers, I mean, all people in general, that you get constant medical checkups. But, brothers and sisters in particular, especially, us black men, some of us don't like to, go to a doctor as regularly as we should. And, just my own personal example of it, senior, me rest in peace, he had prostate cancer at one point and he beat prostate cancer and he really didn't, follow up like he should. And eventually he had a heart attack and he passed. He's been deceased 20 years now. So, as his offspring, I think it's imperative that, I have constant checkups. But more than anything, I think as people in general, I think the first step is, we should eat right and, treat our bodies right in terms of what we put in it. And then I think the
Right.
second component to that is, getting the annual checkups. If you're a woman, getting pap smears. If you're a man, once you get a certain age, get prostate checks, get colonoscopy, whatever you need to do, to make sure you're happy, healthy, and whole. And I'm glad he's happy and healthy. And shout out to him more than anything, even though I haven't always seen eye to eye with him. At the end of the day, I wish the best for him. And, it's sad how, you got a lot of people like 7-8, salute to the general, how you always talk about, the drama and the ninja gossip, how they talking about how Karuchi Train is secretly his girlfriend and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, who cares? The only thing that
Right.
we should be concerned about is the fact that this brother is doing well and he's healthy and his family is still able to enjoy his company, while he's still in the land of the living. In terms of the Micah Parsons situation, before I get off, because I have to go take care of some other obligations. But before I get off, in terms of the Micah Parsons situation, it baffles me that you have some people out here on the internet that actually saying, to hell with him, good riddance and bye-bye. And
Really? And coach, and you cook around, I just want to interject this. This young man, if he keeps on going the rate as far as much sacks he's getting, he going eventually break the all-time sack record. Go ahead.
I mean,
and you don't want to pay him?
And that's the crazy thing about it. I'm going to be truthful. The Dallas Cowboys organization and franchise will not be successful again. I hate to say it until Jerry Jones kicks the bucket or in some other way, shape, form, or fashion. There's new ownership because from an ownership, I'm going to just be honest, from an ownership standpoint, he doesn't want, I think he would rather be the star of the organization and be mediocre or be a fringe level playoff team as opposed to taking the back seat to a coach like Jimmy Johnson that's going to be the head coach and general manager and you're going to thrive and be successful. The same thing with a coach like Bill Parcells. That's why he hires all these puppets as the head coach so he could be the puppet master and it could be like Geppetto and he could pull the strings and he could be essentially the de facto head coach. And in essence, he's the general manager. It's a dysfunctional franchise. And at the end of the day, like he's operating like a plantation, like he's a slave owner. Why not pay this brother? I mean, at the end of the day, if you really want to win, you're going to do what's necessary to keep the best players that you've drafted, you've grown, you developed in a building so you can be successful. So at the end of the day, whether it's Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb, he's constantly, and I mean, not only that, but to me, it's disgusting the fact that he had basically he trying to negotiate with Micah Parsons. Negotiating with Micah Parsons without Micah Parsons' agent present. So that goes to show you that he's up to some tomfoolery and that is a lot of shenanigans. And in addition to the shenanigans, that he's operating like a slave owner in the Dallas Cowboys organization, like it's a plantation. He wants to be the star. Everybody else secondary to him. So at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't blame that brother for demanding the trade. Like, if you don't want to pay me, don't hold me hostage. Trade me and let me go. Get whatever you could in return. But I don't want to be here. You got to pay me my value at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that you got players like him and Trey Hendrickson, that's not getting paid. I don't know. I mean, if you value the quarterback position and you value left tackles and you value defensive backs, then you have to value pass rushers in a pass-happy league. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you've had Dallas Cowboy players like Charles Haley and DeMarcus Ware and those type of players over the years. So at the end of the day, like, you gotta get pass rushers in this day and age in this league. You need franchise quarterbacks. You need left tackles. I mean, you need all 11 positions, all 22 positions, really. But you have to value the good players you have. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be here for a good time, not a long time, fellas. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Y'all, support my brother channel. And, come over to my channel and come rock with me. Man, y'all have a blessed, phenomenal day, blessed, phenomenal weekend. I'll get up with y'all later. Peace and blessings to the LDBC family, you dig?
I appreciate you, Coach, for swinging by, and rest in peace to Senior.
Oh, yeah. It's been 20 years this year, but, his legacy and his memory lives on. And, and hopefully I could build upon that. You know what I'm saying? But I
You are, man.
yes, sir. Much love to the family, man. I appreciate y'all, brothers. You know, much love to y'all. Much love to the family. You dig?
You
All
have
right,
a blessed
coach.
one, brother.
Hey, do your thing, Big Joe and JB and Jerry. Y'all tell Pops I said hello. You know what I'm saying?
Sure will.
All right. Peace.
And Grown with Sosa, Rep to PTO Pod Coach 67, yeah. And Jerry Jones, all in the video like P. Diddy, yep. I want to be the star. Anthony Bolton said that you are absolutely right, Coach 67. I can't wait for Jerry Jones to fade out to the dust. We all know what Ivan Drago said. And if you have to have a registered agent in the NFL that represents you, it shouldn't even be possible for you to talk to a player without that agent present. I agree with that. Grown with Soul said the start of every game, Jerry get on the mic like Cowboys in the Diddy voice. Yeah, man. It's yeah. It's no secret that Jerry Jones is the one that's holding back the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't hope y'all talk about him kicking the bucket. I just, if anything, I just want him to be removed, man. He's no longer or take a seat, back seat.
Or sell the team, but I don't think he's gonna do that. No.
Man, but this was a good show, man. Before we wrap it up, because Big John, I know you gotta make some moves. Anything we forgetting or you want to say? Or Big Joe, you on mute, Big Dog.
I got you. Y'all, you caught me off washing my hands.
Come on,
Yeah. Well, the reason why Jerry Jones is not going to change because he learned from Al Davis. You know, as a former Raider fan, Al Davis was always in the media, always talking, even when he was in a wheelchair with a blanket on his legs. Al Davis was still the focal point of the franchise, and that's how Jerry Jones runs it. But in this day and age, we see who's winning championships. Right? The Patriots won a bunch of championships. We know who Robert Kraft is, but he don't talk that much. He sat back and let Bill Parcells do his thing, even to the point to where he made Bill Parcells the general manager at one point. So, and then again, we have the Eagles. I don't even know who the Eagles owners look like. I ain't got no clue.
Right.
I barely even know what the head coach look like. I know who Jalen Hurts is. I know who Saquon is. I know who AJ Brown is. I know the two Georgia boys who play in D-line. I know who they are. I ain't got no clue what the Eagles owner look like. And you see why they winning. Again, they pay players early. Not so the best way to keep your star players there, you pay them a year or two early before the contract is up, because every year the value is going up. The market value is going up on every position. The more money that they get with these TV deals, the more you're gonna have to pay the players. It's ain't like the WNBA, where WNBA only gets the players only get 8 or 9% of the total revenue. I mean, the players, I think the NFL players, they get like 47 or 48% of the total revenue. So the more money they get with these Amazon deals, Netflix deals, Peacock deals, whatever, all that money goes towards the players' contracts as well. Hence, in this offseason, each NFL team got over $430 million in revenue that they got from the NFL. Each team got $430 million, from all the TV deals and all that kind of stuff. So Jerry Jones got the money, because ain't nobody say this. I was waiting for somebody to say this, because I know Tony Romo never had to complain about getting paid.
Oh yeah.
You never had to. Tony Romo never had to go public requesting a trade. They always paid him early and often. Jerry Jones loved him so much that they say that Tony Romo is like his second son. They love Tony Romo so much that Tony Romo married an intern that was in a Dallas Cowboys facility. And last time I checked, ain't that called fraternization? Ain't that called? Ain't you not supposed to be romanticizing with your co-workers and whatnot?
Last time I checked, yeah.
I'm just saying that's what they got. My man Ime Doka was with the Celtics. He was fraternizing with somebody in the organization. I'm just saying. But anyways, he's not gonna sell the team. Pretty much everybody on the GM side or whatnot. Again, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, is a GM. They're never gonna sell the team. A bunch of other Joneses are in other powerful positions in the team. So it is gonna be what it is. Stephen Jones is learning from his father. So he's gonna be just like his father. You know what I mean? In some essence. So the Cowboys are who they are, and we are who they thought they were. And they're gonna keep having the same success. Hence the reason why Jerry Jones trying to make amends by putting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. A little too late now, trying to get that juju up off you. A little too late now. So
Yeah.
you can do all that you want to, but you still ain't changed the person who you is, so you're gonna keep getting the same results. And that what they
Exactly.
say that's what the saying is. Keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's the
yeah.
definition of insane. Yeah. And they salute the sister Shawala Yah. She said, what's going on with brother Gerald Old Evan Green, JB, and Joe Townsend? Salute chat. Salute sister.
What's up, sister? That's my sister.
Yeah, we definitely gotta have her back on the Black Man Perspective. She be cooking. And she know her boxing, so. And Rome Soul said Jerry Jones is a vampire. That ninja been 103 since he bought the Cowboys. Yeah. 86 Go said it's like 15 to 18% because players don't get money from jersey sales, concessions sales, or ticket sales. Yeah. Yeah, man. What's that documentary? Um, it was a documentary that basically involving Daryl Strawberry when he coined the phrase "what rich slaves" when we get into the salary cap and everything.
Talking about free agency.
Yeah, free agency. Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, I remember that documentary. I gotta watch it again. It's been a while since I seen it. He helped how the free agency process of how players get paid and stuff. So
Speaking of free agency, shout out to the OG. Shout out to one of the best DNC tackles that ever lived in Reggie White. If it wasn't for Reggie White, it wouldn't be no free agency. Back in the
right.
80s and 90s, you were just wherever team drafted you, you had to stick with them and they do you however you want. There wasn't no free agency. Reggie White went through hell to get it to where players now can say, oh, I want to be traded. You couldn't do that beforehand. So
Mm,
shout out to Reggie White's sacrifice. A lot of players, speaking of NFL history, if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be happening. So
yes, sir.
Miles Garrett wouldn't be able to say trade me or pay me. Hence the reason why the Browns signed him and gave him all that money. Because Reggie White took that stand in the '90s. So shout out to Reggie White.
Shout out to Reggie White.
Shout out to the pastor, the minister of defense. Excuse
Thank you, Anthony Bolton. $40 million slave by William C. Roten. Yes, sir. Mm, involving Daryl Strawberry and the MLB. Yep. But fellas, man, it was a good little show, man, to pop on. I know it's usually we go live at 3:30, but as you can see, people, coaches, they had obligations, and Big Joe gotta make buster moves as well. So um, I'm glad y'all came in and joined us, man. listen to what we had to say, just chop it up, and just talk ball and what's going on. But Big Joe, what you got going on? Let people know where they can meet you and see you.
Yes, sir. You can catch me on all LDBC platforms, showing love to the brothers and sisters of the mighty. We are 1 week away from the LDBC meet and greet, and yours truly, Old Hillside Bourbon Company, is the official beverage and sponsor of the LDBC meet and greet. I will be curating a tasting there. We're gonna have 3 bottles of our rye whiskey. We're gonna have 3 bottles of our single barrel whiskey there, so y'all can taste it, enjoy it and whatnot. For all y'all who are not going to the meet and greet, you can go to oldhillsidebourboncompany.com, oldhillsidebourboncompany.com, and you can personally we order you a bottle. We have different types, different flavors, whatever you're looking for. Shipping is fast to get to you within 1 to 4 days. We also have merchandise, and as of now, we don't have cigars available. As of now, we have a new tobacco leaf manufacturer waiting to get, the new tobacco leaf and everything, and then we're going to start rolling up stuff pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. But shout out to Old Hillside Bourbon Company, the official beverage of the mighty LDBC, also sponsored by DHP. It's going to be a great time. See y'all in Vegas.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good time, man. I will be supporting. JB, let everybody know what's going on. What words, any closing words you got for us before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, it's on the Cubs football season, man. We got the first uh preseason game coming up, and today, and I know during the weekend there's been live camp practices throughout the NFL. The Ravens live stadium practice is on their channel as we speak for all my Baltimore Ravens fans. Um, Man, y'all enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, excuse me, and enjoy the rest of the week that's coming up. Y'all keep knocking at your goals. Uh, if you fail, keep trying. Don't give up. And I'll see you when I see you. Y'all be blessed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This was another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all be blessed.